Hey y'all, this is Gail teaching here from Southeast Texas, our gentle yoga for back care. Used to say low back, but we address both the upper back and the low back in this class. So you'll need a block, a strap. If you don't have a block, you can use a rolled up towel. If you don't have a strap, you know what? You can use a long towel or a scarf or a tie or, not use a strap today too. Some of us, and I'm bending down here, go out and get those special straps that have the loops in them. That way we don't have to use that grip strength. It's very beneficial for some of us that, have some challenges with that, but they're about, 15 to 20 bucks. And they're called a stretch out strap. But you can use your regular strap too. So let me get the gallery on in case anybody wants me to look at their video. We're going to start, guess what? Seated or standing. I'm moving the chair out of the way. Yes, we got started a little bit late, but you know what? We'll still get the full hour in, okay? We're going to start with feel your feet on the ground. So what do I mean by that? So it's not the weight just in the heels, not in the toes. It's the entire length of the foot. So it's about hip distance apart, toes pointing towards 12 o'clock. And you may want to rock a little bit back and forth. We'll do the breath in just a minute. But I want you to do some of these standing things, seated on the chair things. Now, you're not snuck in the chair where you're doing that little curvy, weird spine stuff. You're using your tall posture muscles. And you know what? Tall posture muscles when you're standing up. So I'm trying to press entirely into the whole bottom of the foot. So I tend to put most of my weight in the back, but then I have to really think about it to really press down. And when you're pressing down, let's also think about there's a wrinkle on the floor. You want to smooth the wrinkle by pressing down and away. So that activates your hip musculature. So you kind of feel some stuff in both of those hips, maybe the behind. Now, from here, just little shoulder rolls as you press firmly into the floor. Let's alternate it. You don't have to go as fast as I'm doing. Go a little bit slower. As I say that, I'm going a little bit slower, and then I'm thinking about pushing those feet firm into the floor. That's our grounded feeling here. And then reverse that. Go the other way. Ooh. Feels kind of spicy on that left side now. Very good. And just kind of shake them out. Bend those knees back and forth a little bit. Shake the body a bit. And then we'll do what's called it's a Nagoski term, it's the golfer's grip. So that's where we take our hands and we fold the fingers into the pads of the hands. And then we have the top of the hand aligned with the forearms. We don't have any of this cocked wrist business, okay? So we're activating those muscles in our forearms. And we're going to be using that to strengthen our upper back. Again, feet parallel, whether it's hip distance or a little bit more or more in. Do that golfer's grip. I can't quite get the right hand down today, but it might come. I don't know. And then we're going to do letter W, elbows and arms. And then think about squeezing that upper back, those shoulders, and then keep the squeeze and bring those arms either kind of like a low business where it's kind of like an upside down letter V, or if you can, a T. Now we're going to take the thumbs, point them towards the sky, make sure the top of the hands align with the forearms. I'm kind of checking here. And the thumbs, let's point them to the front of the room. Now press firmly into the floor. Start your arm circles here with squeezy shoulders. Draw in front of you and back behind you. You can do one arm at a time. Ooh, my right shoulder is making a little clicky clanky thing. That's okay. Doesn't hurt. That's just, doing some weird stuff. So you can take it faster or not. You can do one arm at a time or not. So I'm going to go a little bit faster here. You go your own speed, okay? Do you notice that the shoulders, maybe they're getting a little tired here. Maybe you're feeling that upper back getting activated. Yes, this is what we're doing. You may notice a little wave-like motion with the upper and the hips, upper body and the hips. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Relax it, shake it out, bend those knees, move a little bit, kind of get that held tension kind of fluffed out of the body here. And we're going to do that all again. So let's clap the hands, make it really firm in the palm and into the fingers, because we did something very strenuous with those folded fingers into the pads of the palm. If it could get there. Sometimes it's not going to get there. All right, nice and warmed up. Go back to that golfer's grip. Ooh, I got some of my fingers down on that right hand and most of them down on the left hand. I'm happy here. So squeeze the shoulders back to letter W, firm feet into the floor, activate everything. Yeah. And again, we had our thumbs forward before, so let's do thumbs up and then thumbs back behind us. And then draw a circle behind you and forward, keeping the shoulders squeezed. Now, does one shoulder squeeze a little bit more tight than the other? Do you notice that? Does one side of your neck feel different than the other? Maybe, maybe not. Again, I'm going a little fast, and I'm making sure it's going forward and back behind me. So we do this to strengthen our upper and lower body musculature. You're pressing still firmly into the floor. I hope so. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Move it a little bit. Okay, whether you're seated in the chair, whether you're standing there, go back to firm feet on the floor. Reactivate the feet. I could talk to be dangerous, right? We're going to interlace our hands in front of us and then push the palms away. Now try to go towards straightened arms. Now my thumbs are loose, my pinkies are loose. That's okay. And that fourth finger is a little bit loose. Now with super straight arms as best you can, right? Bring it up to where it's in front of your eyeballs. Okay, and readjust your arms to where they're straight. Very good. Maybe up to the hairline. And you're trying to push away, yeah? Then maybe above that. Oof. Maybe more. Now, when you start to bend the elbows, that's kind of like your stopping place, okay? But if you can still keep them straight, keep some of the fingers interlaced, maybe you can go a little bit by the ears. Maybe not. I'm about, I don't know, 30 degrees away. It's not like straight up. Now, what I'm going to do here is press firmly into the floor, bend my elbows, and press towards wherever the palms can press towards. So I'm trying to lengthen the upper body out of the pelvis. And release. Circle those arms down. Very good. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, arms down. Listen to the breath. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button tight as you float those arms down. Let's do that again. One more time. Breathe in. Actually, we'll do it one more time. We're going to do side lateral flexion while we're here. Now, if you're standing, maybe the feet a little bit wider. Maybe what feels good, okay, on your chair. One more time. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Keep one arm up, and let's place a hand either on a hip or down on the chair. With the hand that's in the air, again, breathe in, reach up, and then belly button tight. Lean that side body over. Now I'm pressing into that hip. So I'm thinking about like really stretching out from that armpit through the top of my hand. Very good. And then bring it back on up towards the sky and float that arm down. Woo. Wiggle those shoulders a little bit. And let's do it the other side. Both hands, circle, sweep arms up. Hand on a hip or down on the chair. And then inhaling, reach, reach, reach. Reach, reach, reach. Oh, I felt my back pop there. Exhale, lean that side body over. Now this one feels different, but still great. Whew. Side lateral flexion, kind of lengthening, stretching out. Now it's kind of crunchy on the bottom side and lengthening on the top side. Bring it back on up and down. Beautiful. All right, so you can do the entire class seated on the chair, or if you like, what I'm going to do is come down to the floor. Now I use the chair because I've got spicy back pain. And bend my knees, hike up my pants, step one foot way back, then the other. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way, might use it later on, and then move the chair out of the way. I'm going to come over and tip over onto the yoga mat. Now making sure my block and my strap are close by, because invariably my block and strap are never close by. So there they are. They're really close. And we're going to do constructive rest posture. That's where we lie on our back with our knees bent. This is again, that's the name of the yoga pose, constructive rest pose. It's also an Egoscue movement. So, you know, we're doing some Egoscue here today, posture alignment therapy. Woo! All right, so you're going to feel your body on the surface that you're on, whether it's the chair, whether it's here on the floor or on the couch or the bed, yeah? So those of us with scoliosis, big O time curves in the spine, whether it's in your lumbar, your sacrum, your cervical spine, this feels kind of odd to me. So the left side is like really into the floor, but that right side, I've got that big old hump in my back. So it's kind of feeling odd. So I'll take my hand and roll my shoulder up and away, move the shoulder and all the back muscles away from the spine. Do the same with the other side. That feels better. Now sometimes the lower body feels a little odd laying here. Maybe one hip is kind of twisted or cattywampus, so to speak. I'll walk my feet towards my behind, lift up, and re-roll my low back onto the floor. That's often feels very okay to me. From here, hands on the torso. Let's breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. Breathing in, belly big, low belly, mid belly, upper belly, chest. And then just everything kind of in reverse. Everything kind of falls, okay? I'm making that sound in my back of the throat as I talk also. Breathe in, belly big. It's called the Ujjayi breath. And exhale. Whether you're seated or lying here on your back, if you're seated, you might want to grab your strap. It might be easier for you, but we're going to squeeze the belly button towards your spine, lift a foot off the yoga mat, invite the knee in towards the chest. I'm using my hands back behind the knee here. So what I'm trying to notice here, knee to chest posture, is how much of this leg is in that hip crease, how much of it is into the side waist, or is any of the leg touching my, any of my low ribs. So checking your range of motion. So again, this is my spicy side on some things. So this doesn't necessarily feel good. Doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't feel good, okay? But that'll change. Next, if you're seated on the chair or want to use this lying on your back, you take your yoga strap along the bottom of the foot. And then we're going to make a little movement here. Knee to chest pose, extend the leg out. So let's extend that leg out, whether you're using the strap or not, okay? Now maybe it feels more comfortable away from the body. Maybe it feels comfortable more towards your body. Notice when you need to start to bend the knee. That's usually your place of, okay, that's where I need to stop, yeah? And little flex of the heel, toes towards you is going to make the back side more activated, more contraction of those muscles. And then just kind of notice what you notice. It feels a little spicy here in the belly of the hamstring for me, kind of in that mid place. And then a little bit where the hamstring, back of the leg, inserts into the behind. There's a little spice going on in that transition zone. So if I back off a little bit, I don't feel that. So again, things that you notice, right? Okay, from here, with the inhale breath and the belly big, we're going to invite the knee in towards the chest. So here we go. Breathe in, knee into chest. And with the strap, sometimes you go a little bit deeper into the pose. Sometimes that happens. And then belly button tight. Exhale, bring that leg out. Woo. Inhale, knee into chest. Exhaling, leg out. So I'm trying to get y'all to coordinate your movement with your breath, so that helps lower your stress hormone, the cortisol. And so basically just breathe every time you kind of do a movement into and out of a yoga posture. So when you connect the breath with a movement, you'll hear other people call it vinyasa. That's just a big old fancy word for moving with your breath, okay? So we're doing the knee to chest vinyasa. I just think that's funny. Anyway, I'm just trying to get a little bit more lubrication in those hip and knee joints. My knees are making a little noise. My hip is doing a little popping thing. My ankle, not so much. Probably because I taught Tai Chi earlier today. But you know what? You can get stiff just with the hour of non-activity. And one more, knee into chest. We're going to let that strap drop, maybe hands back behind that knee pit, and point and flex your foot. So again, isolating the ankle joint to help you have better walking ability, because it's all about the feet. It is. And then ankle circles. Kind of notice the stuff that's going on. That's air quotes stuff when you do ankle circles or ankle squares in my case, or rectangles. And then reverse, go the other direction. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that. There was a big old snap that went on. I have noisy feet. Your shin should start to feel like you notice where your shin is, okay? And then release. Release that foot down to the floor. We gotta do all that same stuff on the other side. I gotta move my strap too. So invite the knee into the chest. And so this one, wow, is into my rib. The other one was only into my hip crease. So if you do have back challenges, you may notice dramatic changes one versus the other, or maybe not so dramatic, okay? It may be in your upper body musculature, your joints, your shoulders, that kind of thing. And again, notice what you notice or don't notice. It's okay if you didn't notice it. You know, no judgment here, okay? And then if you want to, strap along the bottom of the foot and extend that leg out. I won't do it on this side. So this one feels more comfortable to me, more close to my body before I start feeling it in the belly of the hamstring. And I flex that heel, woo, feel that calf activate when that happens. And just again, notice this compared to the other side. Now, let's add some movement to this. Let's breathe in, knee into chest. Exhale, extend that leg out. Now contract that belly button when you exhale, okay, when you extend that leg out. Here we go. Inhale, knee into chest. And exhaling. You might go lower towards the floor with the strap because you're able to bring it back, okay? And again, notice the little noises, the little feelings that you have in the knees, in the hip bone area. You're probably not noticing much in the ankle because it's kind of staying at the same foot position. But we'll change that with the next set of postures. So I'm feeling crinkly things going on around my knee cap area. And one more. And just kind of let it hang here. And then we're going to point and flex that other foot. Whew. This is considered to be your second heart when you do the calf pumps. It's beneficial after you eat a meal. If you tend to have a big time glucose spike, calf pumps. Do a short little walk. Yeah, that'll lower your blood sugars. That's a good thing. Now ankle circles or ankle pops in my case. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. It's very subtle. And reverse. My reverse feels weird on this side. It just is. Oh my gosh. All right, and then let's release this foot down to the floor. Now that was probably pretty challenging seated on the chair. We're going to do notice pose. So if you're seated on the chair, you're going to extend one leg and lay on the back of your heel. And for those of us on the floor, extend one leg, kind of shake that leg out a little bit. Do the same with the other side. Shake it out. And you're going to notice, okay, how does this feel in your hips, in your back, in the calves, in the back of the legs, the ankles. You may have to be on the back of the heels with the knees bent because it might be pretty tight in this hip musculature. But we've done a couple of postures already. Let's squeeze the belly button, slide the foot back onto the yoga mat. Let's do windshield wipers, shall we? So if you're seated on the chair, you may want to take your yoga block and place the balls of the feet on the block. You can also do that laying on your back, but I think it's easier just being on flat feet on your back. So from here, the leg that's closest to me, your right or your left leg, you're going to drop that knee out to the side. So we're on the side of the foot. Now, if this is too much because the leg weight bringing, you know, that leg down, maybe super tight groin, you may want to take your yoga block underneath and then support the side of the foot, the leg weight on the block. Totally an option, okay? Then the other one, drop the other knee towards the bottom knee. So we got a little low lumbar twist going on here, top behind, a little bit off the yoga mat, a little twist happening, and might be spicy, but we're not trying to like lay on our side and have the top leg on top. We're trying to encourage that little low lumbar stretch, that lengthening, that kind of big time stretchy feeling going on with the top behind. Now, squeeze the belly button towards your spine. Bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. You can always use your hands to assist. And I'm going to scoot away from the wall here because I'm pretty close. I'm going to do the second side. So drop the other one. Again, we're on the side of the foot here. You may, again, or may not want to use that yoga block. It feels okay on this side. And then drop the other leg towards the dropped leg. And just kind of notice this kind of side twist happening here. You may feel it in the top of the behind. You may not feel it at all, okay? It may be referred up the twist of the side body musculature. Sometimes what I'll do on this one, if it's kind of spicy, I'll take the heel of my hand or my thumb and press it, kind of find that hip bone and press into that hip bone. And that sometimes lessens the strong sensation. So if you want to try that, see what that feels like, you can do that. It's kind of like doing trigger point stuff, but not, okay? It just gives you a little extra release of what's going on. Now squeeze the belly button, bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. So we're back into constructive rest posture. If you need to readjust, please do so. I just grabbed my behind and I readjusted myself because it felt weird. So I'm back to feeling better. Now, let's do it again. Drop a knee and drop the other knee. Now, I'm getting a little bit more range of motion. My behind is almost totally off the yoga mat because I'm able to do a little bit deeper low twist. Squeeze that belly button. Really notice those low abdominals when you squeeze. Top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. And let's do the other side. So drop it out to the side. Very good. And then take that other leg towards the first leg. And again, you might notice a little bit more twisting. Sometimes more twisting feels more sensation. Just know that. Now, if you were to sit here, lay here, wherever you're at, let's do that breath, okay? Big belly, breathe in. Ooh, sometimes breathing deep doesn't feel better, okay? And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Bring everything back to the center. Very good, very nice. We're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do pigeon and piriformis bounce. So I'm going to kind of show this at an angle here. We do have some new folks in the room. But I make sure, do I have my block? Yep, I got my block. Got my yoga strap. And you're doing it seated on the chair. You can get a little spice going on with this posture. So you're either going to take, you're going to take one leg up in the air and shake it. Again, this is lymphatic drainage. Shake it to the side. And you're either going to take this leg across on your ankle bone. Maybe if you're seated, you're going to do that. Or maybe you can slide it up on top of your thigh. So make sure that ankle's past so you're not knobbing your thigh here. So if you're seated, you may want to take your hand underneath that top leg and pull that leg towards you and let it drop. Or thread that yoga strap to pull it towards you and let it drop. You may want to do this lying on the floor too, because I kind of like how this feels. But seated on the chair, it's kind of hard to push the leg away, but lying on your back, you can take your hand and push the leg away. Or if you can't quite reach that leg, use your yoga block, press the leg away. So we're warming up the piriformis muscle. I'm looking to see if you can see that in the mirror. Yeah, you can, or in the camera. Got my hair flying all around here. Sometimes when you have that shooty pain down the leg, the sciatica, it's caused by a nerve being pinched. It can be in a different place each time. So when nerves get nervy, what we're doing here is just kind of letting that nerve be released, especially if it's caught in the pelvic or the piriformis muscle, in it, around it, or kind of in that pelvic notch. It could be actually the vertebra up in your spine that's being pinchy, okay? All right, so we've done this little wiggling business, all right? So we're going to make everything still. We're going to think about the bottom foot. We're going to tap, tap, tap that bottom foot. Remember at the beginning when we pressed our feet firmly into the floor, let's do the bottom foot firmly into the floor so you activate that bottom leg musculature. Top leg, point the toes towards your knee. That calf is contracted, and you're going to squeeze top bun. Sometimes I can't squeeze top bun unless I'm squeezing bottom bun. So squeeze both or top bun. Now, if you want more, take your yoga block or your hand and press that top leg away, or use your own muscular strength. If you're seated here on the chair, think about being really nice and tall, shoulders over, ears over the shoulders, and then maybe hinge forward a little bit. Doesn't take much to feel this hinging forward in pigeon pose. Woo! So we're strengthening our hip musculature. We're doing some bone building here too. When you contract big muscle groups, you hold it for 30 seconds. It builds bones because contracted muscle stimulates bone growth. But you got to stay in there for about 30 seconds to make that happen. So I get to talk to y'all. Yeah. Someone said, yeah, you should have had the E, not the I for your Myers-Briggs. I went, no, I'm an introvert. Sometimes disguised as an extrovert, but an introvert. And relax and release everything. Yay. Bounce that top leg. Woo, feels better now. And take that top leg up and off, shake it in the air, or use your hands to shake it, whatever you can manage there. Wiggle it side to side, up and down. While we're here, because it's kind of close to our body, you can take your hands back behind your knee pit and slap your knee pit to get rid of that toxics that are held in the lymph glands, lymph nodes behind the knee. And release. Yay. Let's do the other side. So bring the other leg up in the air, wiggle it, shake it, get some movement going on here. Yeah. Now take that top leg, either cross it on top of your ankle bone, depending on your flexibility level, okay? No shame in being on the ankle bone, okay? Or on top of the thigh. Woo! And that kind of feels spicy today. And then you're either going to pull it towards you or push it away, depending if you're seated on the chair, depending on what you like here lying on your back. Sometimes I'll just go up and down. I'll just push and pull. But it feels a little different in the pelvis when you pull it towards you versus pushing it away. It's a little bit more connected to the ground when you push it away as opposed to pulling it towards you, because there's a little give going on there. So again, this kind of depends on how this feels in your own body today. I'm looking to see, I'm making sure my block is close by, and if I need my strap, it's close by too. Whew. All right, so we're going to make everything still. All right. Then we're going to take that bottom foot, tap it into the floor. And again, foundational feet. Press firmly that bottom foot into the ground. You feel tightening of the top of the leg. Top toes, point them towards your knee, calf activated. Top bun, squeeze, press into that bottom foot. Press that top leg away, or again, use your block, press it away. But make sure bottom foot is firm into the ground. So sometimes you can feel the lower abdominals in this yoga posture. Maybe you feel a little bit of mid-abdominals. Breathing in, breathing out. Flexed heel, toes towards your knee. Everything active. Don't lose anything. If you do, re-engage. Squeeze buns. I always lose my buns, okay? Squeeze them. Now, if someone came into the class and I just said that, yeah, I'm always losing my buns, they'd be probably going, what are you talking about? Got to use it in the context, okay? Woo! Hold it, but not the breath. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Woo! That's it. Relax and release. Yay. Maybe, bounce that leg again. Yeah. In fact, bring the leg up and off and shake that leg, wiggle it. Get a little movement here. You can use your hands to help wiggle it. Just know that, okay? And again, since it's so close, bring it in towards you and slap the back of the knee. Let's get those lymph nodes. Get rid of that waist. The only way to get rid of the waist and the lymph nodes is through movement. On a rebounder, jumping up and down, doing big body movements, little body movements. Doing lymphatic release. Beautiful. And release. Yay. You know what? Let's do a windshield wiper while we're here. So drop a knee out to the side. Drop the other knee. Notice how this feels in your body now. Maybe more of a twist, maybe less sensation, maybe the same, maybe more. Squeeze that belly button. Bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Let's go over to the other side. So drop the knee out to the other side. Whoops, there's my yoga block. And then that other one. Woo! Squeeze the belly button. Bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Let's do notice pose. So extend both those legs out towards, the edge of your yoga mat. I'm making sure my yoga block is close by. On the back of the heels, if you're seated on the chair, wiggle your body just a little bit and just kind of notice. Are you a little bit more connected to the ground? So for me, I am. Hopefully you feel a little bit of ease in the body, maybe. Squeeze the belly button. Bring a foot back onto the yoga mat, then the other. Since we already did arm circles, we're moving on. We're rolling over on towards our side and coming up to a seated place. Now, you can be seated on the floor, seated on a chair. It'd be hard to be seated standing up, wouldn't it? I'm grabbing my yoga blanket. I've already got it pre-folded. Let's see here. You know, I had it into like a little skinny rectangle, and I fold it into thirds because for me, sitting on the floor is like, ooh, kind of spicy in that one side. So I like to sit on the edge of the blanket. That allows my pelvis to kind of tip forward, and I feel a little bit easier in my breath. So I'm going to sit on the edge. And if you're doing this seated on the chair, you're not like in the corner of the chair. You're scooted forward a little bit. Now I'm going to bring my block close by because my knee is feeling a little spicy. One of my martial art postures that I have to do is where you sit on the top of your foot and your shin. It's called hero pose in yoga. And I can't quite do it, so my knees are not quite there. They were, but then I went to that big training, and now my knees are kind of soft. So sometimes I like to have that block there just for a little relief there. All right, so we're going to do remember the letter W. We're going back to letter W. You don't have to do the golfer's grip on this one. So squeeze the upper back musculature. Oh, it's already releasing. Okay, that feels better already. I'm just going to bring it out a little bit. Very good. And whatever leg is in the front or your left or your right side, you're going to squeeze the shoulders. So super squeeze of the shoulders. Breathe in, belly big. As you exhale, contract that belly button and twist over to that leg in front or right or left side. Keep the squeeze. I have to re-squeeze my shoulders here. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center. Now relax those shoulders down. In fact, just kind of wiggle out of the pose a little bit. Sometimes we kind of like hold lots of tension there, but you know, you can overdo it, right? But we're going to go back. Letter W, just re-squeeze, reset. Very good. Breathe in, belly big. Over to the other side. Exhale. I got the light over there. I'm looking at it. That's not a good thing. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center and relax and release. We kind of did side lateral flexion already, but you know what? Let's compare it to seated again or seated on the floor. I'm going to switch the legs. Yeah, it still doesn't feel good. Okay. So, you know, sometimes someone was asking me, what would be your favorite prop you would want to have if you only have one prop? I said the yoga blanket, because I could roll it up and make it fit my body in all sorts of different postures. So, you know, this is a very firm thing. This is like something I can kind of play around with. Again, let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and then place a hand down, either on the chair, on the floor, then reach up, 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 up. Really reach it up. Now I'm going to bend my elbow, bottom elbow, and reach up and over to get that big, long stretch. This is also kind of like extended warrior pose. Extended warrior? No, it's called something else. I don't know. Bring it back on the up and down. I actually call this one the can of zucchini that's on the top shelf pose. So inhale, circle, sweep arms up, because you never reach for that, right? Exhale. Keep that one arm up, hand on the floor, grab that chair, reach up, and over. Just kind of sit in the pose, sit in the pose, sit in the pose. Woo. Bring it back on up and down. Okay, so this thing that we did before, it's called an unsupported twist. We're going to play around with a levered twist, just to give you a little taste of what you should not do. Why? You'll take other yoga classes and they'll say, okay, take your hand over to the opposite leg and then twist. Okay, so this is a levered twist. When you have back challenges, you don't want to crank yourself to have more pain, right? So if you just had to do the levered twist, you take your hand over and you think about tall posture and think about only engaging the muscles in your spine. Don't let the arm, the lever, make you go into the twist. So, you know, you just twist and maybe you twist some more, but it's all your body doing it, not that lever of the arm, okay? And release. Now, if you wanted to play around with your lever, you can. Let's take it over to the other side. and maybe the hand back behind you, and then maybe push into that hand, and then allow yourself to twist. Go slow. Again, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it, especially if you have back challenges. And release. Let's do that same side again. Just gently place it there on the leg. Think tall posture here, and then let your mid-spine, release your hand, and then maybe place the hand back down there and the hand back behind you. You kind of stay in the pose there. So that's one way, one technique to do a unlevered levered twist. And release. Okay, we're going to come onto our hands and knees and do bird dog or oppositional reach. You can also do this standing with the chair or use the wall. I think we had a class that was like entirely based on spinal balance here. You might find it in the playlist. I don't remember, 2-3 weeks ago. So Miss Deb will be subbing for me next week and the week afterwards. I'm going to go visit Texas A&M with the kiddo and then visit family. So she's a great sub. I think you'll enjoy her. You know what? This is feeling a little spicy on the knee. Use that yoga blanket if you need to, or fold your yoga blanket at the knee to give yourself a little cushion if you need it. From here, I'm not going to cue the chair one today because the people that are doing this in the chair already know how to do that. But those of us on our hands and knees, slide a hand out, and then think about that opposite foot. Slide it out. You can be on those curly toes and press that heel to the back of the room. Activate that cat. Now contract your belly button, nice and strong. Lift the leg up. Maybe lift the arm up. So you're activating the muscle, the multifidus muscle, and release. It's the deepest held layer of our spine. When it turns to fat, bring everything back to the center. It recruits other muscles, causing back pain, okay? Let's do the other side. So slide out the other arm, slide out the opposite foot. Okay, one hand is below, your shoulder here. Squeeze your belly button towards your spine. I'm going to do a curly toe of the other foot. Lift the leg up, lift the arm up, feel the back muscles. Squeeze the behind if you need to, nose looking at the floor, and release back to the center. Now we're going to coordinate this with our breath. So let's inhale, drag an opposite arm and leg outward. Belly is soft. Exhale, contract the belly button, leg and arm lift up. Inhale, arm and leg come down. Exhale, come back to the center. Switching sides, other side. Other arm and leg, inhale, lengthen out. Belly is soft. Exhale, contract the belly button, arm and leg go up, up, up. Very nice, very nice. Woo! Inhale, arm and leg come down. Exhale, back to heart center. Wonderful. All right, so what you can do here is come up and stand on the shin knee. Make fists. Place your fists on your upper behind and press your pelvis forward for a standing seated back bend. Come shift a little forward on your chair to do this. You can actually grasp the back of the chair spokes if you like, or hands on the hips. If it's not available here, hands on the back hips, hands on the side hips. Poof your belly, poof your chest forward. So squeeze that back musculature and release. All right, we're going to do flowy cat-cow. That's the good one for those of us with back challenges. So traditional cat-cow is hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the toes, curly toes. Curve the spine, and then flare the tailbone. But if you have excessive curves in your low back, in your upper back, there's a better way, and you still get that extension and flexion of the spine. Slide your hands forward. Spread them out like a starfish. Bring your forearms down. Yes, your behind sticks up in the air. And then what I do is I walk my elbows a little bit towards my knees and a little bit wider. And then that allows me to shift my behind towards my heels. I'm going to make my arms a little bit wider also. Very good. Feels better for the shoulders. From here, as you inhale, the belly's soft, and you drag your nose up in between your forearms. Once you get here about at your wrist level, you contract your belly button and start peeling your forearms off the yoga mat. Shift a little forward, curve your spine to the top of the room, and then exhale, shift all the way down to your behind towards your heels. Mine's nowhere close, but I think it is. Inhale, drag it forward. This is your cow. Contract your belly button, shift forward and up. This is your cat version of the pose. Extension and flexion of the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, drag it forward. Contract that belly button, peel those forearms off. Exhale, lower down. You're doing the same thing seated on the chair. Belly forward and curve your spine to the back of the chair for your seated cat-cow. And one more. All right, from here, let's take a foot up in between the hands because we're going to come to standing. I take my time when I do this. I'm going to grab my yoga block. My chair is over there on the back side of the room, but I'm going to use the yoga block, the tall version, to help me come up. So I shift a little forward, curl that back toe, lift that back knee. Now just take that back foot, kind of hop walk it towards my forward foot. Got a nice bend in my knees, hands on my hips, and hinge up. Woo! Now when you come up from the floor to up, sometimes there can be this dizzy business. So hands to your heart, feet wide, chin towards your chest, and breathe. While you're doing that, to get that room from quit being shaking around, right? I'm going to bring my chair over to the yoga mat. All right, we're going to do warrior 2 and probably tree pose. I'm looking at our time here. Feet wide. So some of the things that we do in a Veterans Yoga Project class, we do breathing, mindful movement, meditation, guided rest, relaxation, and that gratitude practice. We try to include it in every class. Yoga Nidra is a little different because we don't do movement in Yoga Nidra, so it's set up a bit different. So my feet are wide, whether you're standing on the yoga mat or you have your knees together and you step a knee out to the side for your seated warrior pose. Lift your heel, turn your foot, bend your knee. Now I'm going to heel toe a little bit wider. I've got my chair here, so I can go a little bit deeper into my posture. I'm checking to see, is my knee aligned with my foot? It's not dropping forward or dropping back behind me. And, I don't really care about the other foot, just so you feel firm, okay, into the floor. So again, we're going back to firm feet. We're going to press firmly into the ground. I'm going to bend that knee a little bit more. Very good. And then think there's a wrinkle here. You always want to smooth out the wrinkle. So you press down and away. So we really get into that hip musculature. I love it. Whew. Okay, so guess what? Back to letter W, squeezy shoulders. But this time, keep the squeeze and then extend those arms. They can be a little bit low or coming out of your shoulders. Yeah? Firm feet. Now, you can always hang on to the chair. You can always have a hand on a hip. Just do one at a time. But squeeze these shoulders. We're going to move a little bit with this warrior 2 posture. So we're going to inhale, straighten the leg, bring the hands to heart center. Just hands to heart center if you're seated on the chair. Breathe in. And then exhale, bend that knee, arms, squeezy shoulders, letter T. Very nice. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Big old breath right there. Exhale, arms out and letter T. Squeeze those shoulders, squeeze. Firm feet into the floor. Firm feet, whether you're seated or standing. Inhale, back to the center. Big old breath right there. Exhale, arms as if you're kind of swimming through the water here, yeah? You're parting the water with your hands. I love it. Bring it back to the center. Breathe in. A little bit more. Breathe in. Very good. Exhale, spread the water. Spread those arms out. Stay here. Stay here. Squeeze those shoulders. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. I love it. Now release and relax it down. Wiggle those shoulders a little bit. Straighten that leg. Pivot the foot. Bring it back to the center. Very good. Bring your legs back to the center if you're seated here on the chair. Okay, again, step those feet out wide. Turn the foot towards the short end of the yoga mat. Make sure your knee is aligned with your foot. Don't let the knee drop in or away. Again, firm feet. Press firm into the floor, whether seated or standing. I'm showing the seated version today, or this time. And I've got my midsection twisted out over the leg in front. Squeeze those shoulders, arms out into a letter T. Squeezy shoulders, firm feet into the floor. As if your feet were going to slide because you're pressing firmly, firmly into that yoga mat. So here we go. Inhale back to the center. Straighten the leg and then exhale, arms out into letter T. Squeeze, part the water right here. Squeeze those shoulders, firm feet into the floor. Make it very active whether you're seated or standing. And then inhale. This time, inhale, arms up. And then exhale, really press away, down back into that letter T. Re-squeeze the shoulders. And again, inhale, palms up. Press firmly into the floor. Woo! Turn those hands, exhale, press them down. Heart rate should be going up a little bit. And then one more time, re-squeeze the shoulders. Very good. Inhale, up, 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 up. And then exhale, push it away. Stay here in the pose, re-squeeze the shoulders, press those feet firmly into the floor, squeeze, extend, don't hold the breath, and relax those shoulders. Yay. Wiggle them a little bit, step it in. Very nice. Okay, you're seated. The way to set up for tree pose is take your block here near kind of the top of the room, turn your leg out to the side, bring the other one next, come up to the edge of your chair, and hands could be heart center, squeeze the shoulders or letter V. If you're standing, step your foot out, lift that heel, turn that foot. Again, readjust your hips to forward, not in that center place, but forward. Lift the foot, your standing foot, very firm. Try not to have your hip jutting out. Have it nice and tall. You can be here at the floor, at your calf, above or below the knee. So maybe it's into the, ooh, can't do that. Again, my knee's kind of spicy because of hero pose. And then arms can go up. Now I use the chair because I'm quite wiggly, especially if I'm trying to keep that side nice and lengthy. I can do it with the hip jutted out, but that's not good alignment, okay? Again, this is a bone building posture. I'm trying to do just 2 fingertips if I can. It's not working. Woo, notice the dance of the foot. And release. Woo. All right, if you're doing the yoga block on the floor, shift it over to the other side, reset up, and I just come over to the other side of the chair. You can also, oh, I love the wall version. I have my fingertips on the wall, and I'm traveling my arm out. I'm going to go a little bit closer. Again, I set my foot out, lift my heel, turn my foot, one knee one direction, one knee the other, my hips in alignment with my balanced knee. I'm making sure that balanced foot is pointed towards 12 o'clock. All right, so I'm going to walk it up. Again, it could be here connected to the floor or maybe the calf. Now try to make sure the knee that's into the leg is out to the side. It's not traveling to the front of the room as best you can out to the side, because again, it kind of gets into that hip musculature as best you can. Not sure, Dan, what to tell you on hip replacement. I don't, well, I'll look that up for next time, okay? I like the wall because then I can do both arms and I let go of the wall sometimes and sometimes not. Woo. And release. Little wiggle side to side. I don't know, I'm feeling kind of grabby here in my back. So you know what? We need to do block bridge pose. So let's come back down to the floor. Again, I'm going to use my chair this time just because feeling a little spice at the moment. Sometimes with the scoliosis, you've got one side that's super tight, super grabby versus the other. And again, you can kind of like wake up the bear in your body if you're not too careful. So, you know, one of these kind of generic back classes may not suit each person's like individual needs, but it gets pretty close, okay? We're going to grab our yoga block. If you could get on the couch and do this. If you can't get down to the floor, this is great, or on the bed. Or if you have a back on your chair, you can press, you know, the low back on the block. What are we doing? We're doing block bridge. We're walking our feet towards a behind, using either your own muscular strength or, you know, use your hand to lift yourself up. Slide your block underneath and place it there on the low behind. Now I feel kind of crunchy here, so I'm going to walk my shoulders away, the back of my head, move my hair out of the way. So that feels kind of okay. A little spicy. You can do this without the block, by the way. And one leg goes up in the air and shake that leg. So again, the little grab spot that I was feeling, it seems like as soon as I bring a leg up in the air and I shake it, it releases that kind of grabby tension feeling that was happening here right below my scapula, my shoulder blade. And then side to side. It's kind of neat how we're all just kind of interconnected. You know, sometimes where your pain is not where the problem is. It's somewhere else in the body that's getting referred, yeah? And then shake, 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 kind of vigorously, and release. Notice the sensation happening with the foot when you do that. And let's do the other side. Raise it up and shake. So again, shake your legs, stomp your feet every day. If you tend to get leg cramps, you know, that kind of helps keep that at bay. You're just kind of doing a nice little working gravity to our advantage here. If you have pelvic prolapse, the bladder, the rectum, the male-female parts, being upside down in an inversion, what this is considered, you know, lets those places relax and release. Shake it side to side. Whew. All right, maybe you can add the other leg. So hang on to your block, bring the other leg and shake them. My legs get competitive. They want to shake more when both of them are up in the air. Okay, well, maybe they have a mind of their own, but whatever, okay? And then side to side. I always think side to side feels strange, but yeah, it's good. I feel like I'm shaking my joints, yeah? Well, I am. And then up and down. Vigorously if you can. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Woo! Make it bigger. All right, and then, woo! Make them stop. Feel that stuff. Bring one leg down. Use your belly button. Grab it. Contract that belly if you need to. Then the other. Kind of push up. Release the block. Roll the spine out. Notice how this feels. Should be close to yummy. Woo! Let's do notice pose. Extend a leg. Shake it out. Do the other one. So this is number one reason for having a block. It's, even if you can't get down to the floor, you could do this on the bed. You could do this on the couch. And you'll notice like, wow, okay, that's like some secret sauce going on there. So you can either stay here for the guided rest and relaxation. We'll do a little Tai Chi at the very end also, so stick around. Or maybe legs on the side of the chair on the couch. Or some folks with like lots of back challenges, they'll bend their knees and bring their feet a little bit wide and then drop the knees in. Because that feels often very yummy for doing the guided rest. Your hands can rest here on your torso or maybe out to the side. Sometimes if you're in a cold room, that blanket, cover yourself up. You got your eye pillow, cover up with the eye pillow, but sometimes I don't have that, and I'll just take my yoga strap and kind of make it to where it just covers my eyes. Yeah? You just use your props however you can, right? Use your gear. And I'm going to come up to the front of the room for the guided rest and relaxation portion of the class. So I invite you to get comfortable. So part of the equation of reducing daily chronic pain is to do a guided rest. Here on Veterans Yoga Project, we have a nightly Yoga Nidra. I have several on my YouTube channel too, because I used to teach that for Veterans Yoga Project. And that's like part 2 for reducing chronic daily pain. So again, I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that might mean for you. Maybe you need to shake an arm out, then do the same with the other side. Maybe the calf of one of your legs kind of feels super tight. Shake that leg a little bit and extend it out, or place it gently on the seat of the chair. Do the same with the other side. It gets jealous if you don't wiggle it too. Just notice that you're breathing. Don't change it in any way. Just notice, what does it feel like here to breathe in and to breathe out? Notice the noise as it goes in through the tips of the nostrils, down the back of the throat, into the lungs, and then notice the noise as you bring the air out, reversing. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Notice if there's still some tension being held in any place of the body. What I like to do, I just use a little bit of visualization. I think about breathing in positive energy or healing light, and then I focus that light usually on my left hip to let it warm up and just soften and release and relax. And then anything that doesn't serve you anymore, as you exhale, just kind of gets expelled out. And again, breathe in, bring in that healing light. Focus it on an area. As you exhale, soften, release, relax, let go. Beautiful. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Maybe listen to either the heater or the air conditioner in the room. Hear the air coming on or off. Maybe you hear somebody down the hallway, footsteps. Maybe you hear, dog foot pads kind of going back and forth. Maybe your cat has come up to you and snugged up closely to you. They love coming to you when you're at a yoga class. Beautiful. Now I invite you to come back into the now. So that's either kind of like moving the hands, moving those toes, maybe wrist circles, ankle circles. You're here with legs on the chair or legs on the couch. Let's go ahead and take those legs off the couch, off the chair. If you're lying on your back, let's eventually come up to a tall seated place. And we're already here on our chair. Let's come to the front of the chair. Whether you're sitting on your bum on the floor or seated on the chair, let's bring the hands on the knees and do those wide body circles. Or if you're still on the back, knees into the chest, knee circles. Either one's okay. And then reverse it, go the other way. Very good. Come back to the center. From here, let's take a hand out to the side. It's called spread the feathers. And turn the thumb to the back of the room. So you're kind of twist into the back of the room, maybe lower it a little bit more. Drop your opposite ear towards your shoulder and then lift your chin. So bring more blood flow into the brain. Open up that carotid a little bit of bicep business going on here too. And release back to the center. Let's do the other one. Again, spread them out nice and wide. Turn that thumb to the top of the room. Maybe lower the arm a little bit and then ear towards the shoulder, opposite ear towards the shoulder. Lift that chin up and release. Let's just kind of check our range of motion. Hands together, nice press of the palms, and then breathe in, belly big, and then exhale, push elbows one direction and turn your head the other direction. Notice your range of motion. Inhaling back to the center. And then exhale over to the other side. Inhaling back to the center. Let's do one more each side. Exhale, push it away. Inhaling back to the center. Exhale, push it away. Very good. From here, bring the hands to heart center. So you can stack your hands or hands together. And let's just drop our chins towards our chest, just in gratitude of showing up today. Let's think of one thing that we're grateful for or an idea of gratitude. Whatever that is, let's bring that into our heart space just for a moment here. You may keep your chin towards your chest or lift your chin, eyes opened or closed as we end the class today. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. Let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for back care. I'll see you next week.